be in if the WWE is continuously being ran the way that it's being ran here in 2013. A way you can look at this is WWE are just repeating history for what can be said is the 500th time over the past 10 years. I mean, how many times have we seen things kind of rekindled and brought back from the abyss in the WWE? Preferably, I'd much rather see the first half of the McMahon-Helmsley era brought back with superstars like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin involved in feuds with the champions of the WWE, people like The Undertaker being put over as number one contenders. I'd much rather see that happening if we have to go through the McMahon-Helmsley era again, not what we're seeing now with a different name put on the McMahon-Helmsley era. Of course, they're being referred to as the Authority, different lackeys to handle Triple H and Stephanie's business, like the Shield, who are providing security and protection for Stephanie and Triple H because so many people hate them, both in the WWE and outside of it. I can't really blame Triple H and Stephanie for having this much protection with how much heat they have on themselves, legitimate heat, that is outside of the WWE. So many people hate them, so they have to go to restraints beyond even their capability. So they have a different name, they have different authorities to help them out, like Randy Orton, who they didn't have back in 1999-2000. So they're trying to make it different a little bit, and I do give them credit for trying to change it up a little bit, but if anything, it resembles the first half of their reign as Authority in the WWE a little bit too much. And if it didn't resemble it as much as it did back 10 or 11 years ago, I'd appreciate this storyline more than I do now. But if anything, it's contributing to producing low ratings in the WWE, as our headlines on our website puts this storyline over. I'm not interested in it. You're lucky now if I'm interested in the first 45 minutes of a show, and that's really just to get caught up on everything happening in the WWE. Back 10 years ago, I'd watch an entire WWE program to find out what personalities like Triple H and Stephanie were going to do by the conclusion of every show every week, and I'd watch every major show that WWE would put off every week, from Monday Night Raw to SmackDown. I'd watch them all just to see what was going to happen from show to show. Now, I just watch maybe the first 45 minutes to just get caught up on what's happening within the division, to find out who are the number one contenders for every respective title that represents a division, and just to see who is making a name for themselves in the WWE, just enough to understand the plot. And you know, you don't really have to understand that much about this plot before you determine that these are some of the worst things creatively that WWE have been putting over. I mean, the Big Show versus Randy Orton, for example. I mean, how many times have we seen this over the past maybe 10 or 12 years? We have seen it more than enough. We're tired as wrestling fans of seeing this, and I think I speak for every wrestling fan when preferably I think that a lot of people would rather see someone else challenging Randy Orton. At this point, I would rather go for John Cena versus Randy Orton in a champion versus champion match at Survivor Series than seeing the two main events that we are being offered at the Survivor Series. This is really a milestone for Survivor Series. I mean, Survivor Series has been around for 20 plus years, and you're celebrating the tradition of Survivor Series, which has been a Thanksgiving tradition for seemingly forever, by giving us John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio for the world title, a rematch from the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, which I respect more than Randy Orton versus The Big Show. And for your WWE title main event representing Raw, you have Randy Orton versus The Big Show. I mean, we've seen Extreme Rules matches, we have seen one-on-one matches between these two, and really nothing has been achieved out of this match. If anything, it's putting over The Big Show to become a future number one contender for the WWE Championship in these matches prior that we've seen between Randy Orton and The Big Show. If anyone's not getting anything out of it, it is Randy Orton. I mean, how many times does he have to knock off The Big Show? My prediction for this match is obviously that Randy Orton will once again be put over as an 11-time champion. That's what he's up to now, as he's involved in this storyline with the Authority and the Shield and Kane, who has one of the most pathetic gimmicks that could ever represent his character going for him right now in the WWE. A lot of people believe this gimmick is only because Kane is hurt, and it's going to be a while before he returns to the ring. We haven't seen Kane in action since SummerSlam earlier this year. The same night, the Authority set up both John Cena and Daniel Bryan for one of the most humiliating things they could have possibly put John Cena and Daniel Bryan over by doing. In my opinion, These storylines are just disastrous, and there's really no other way of describing them, and there are so many different things that I would much rather see happening this close to WrestleMania. You know, the Royal Rumble will put us 2 or 3 months out from WrestleMania, and I think that we need to see more creative things happening, or else we're going to see low pay-per-view buy rates and what could be possibly the lowest pay-per-view buy rate in WrestleMania history. I mean, who's really going to pay for a WrestleMania that's going to be headlined by Randy Orton and The Big Show? And let's be honest, the only reason The Big Show is being put over in a championship match with Randy Orton is because there's nobody else big enough to put over in a championship match like The Big Show, because you don't always have the Triple H's or the Undertakers or the Brock Lesnar's or the Rocks to rely on. You're limited with the number of legends that you have, and at The Big Show, we're not a legend who was limited right now with the number of legends that we have representing the WWE. We wouldn't even see The Big Show feuding with Randy Orton for the championship. We'd see a new talented superstar, but because of WWE's low ratings that go back to Triple H and Stephanie McMahon for being the reason why these low ratings are being produced, WWE had to put over a legend who are bigger than the CM Punks and the Daniel Bryans to challenge Randy Orton for the WWE title. And I really don't want to get your hopes down, but my prediction for this match is that Randy Orton will win and successfully retain the championship, because if anything, this is just a way for WWE to attempt to try to increase pay-per-view buy rates. And if they don't increase pay-per-view buy rates by having Randy Orton versus The Big Show, then they're going to try something else with Randy Orton and The Big Show until they get the pay-per-view buy rates to a level where they want them to be, and then we're going to see something different for Randy Orton to do as the WWE Champion. I am expecting Randy Orton to continue to knock off The Big Show and successfully retain his championship. He's scheduled to be champion up until at least December 7th of 2013, and there was a chance they could go into 2014 as WWE Champion for tours that they are promoting after Survivor Series. They're promoting Randy Orton as a WWE Champion, and he has a number of opponents on this tour, this holiday tour that WWE are putting off, and he's scheduled to be champion up until at least December 7th. Now, I know that cards are subject to change, but right now, out of anyone preferably who you'd much rather see as champion out of these two, I think the obvious suggestion would be Randy Orton, because he has the package of the future when you talk about a superstar for the WWE. I mean, he's quick, he's agile, and he has a face with the WWE. I mean, yes, he's not always there to promote things like cancer awareness, different challenges that people have to go through, the different campaigns like the Be a Star campaign, the WrestleMania Rating Challenge. They have every year a couple of months away from WrestleMania. He's not always there to promote everything, but he is a great representative of the WWE with everything that he's done. Now, I wasn't always a Randy Orton fan, but I approve of Randy Orton as WWE Champion because it gives us a break from always seeing John Cena as WWE Champion. I just referenced how John Cena was in his 14th reign as champion, total combination of both WWE and world title reigns. I mean, we've seen John Cena as champion more than enough. It really irritates me when Cena is consistently on top, and I really appreciated consistency over the years with WWE, but not when it comes to John Cena. You know, Randy Orton, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan can put over campaigns like the Be a Star campaign or the WrestleMania Rating Challenge. These people can do it. The thing is, these people are never given the opportunity to put over these campaigns, and if they were given the opportunity to put over these campaigns as the champion, let me clarify that for you, not as a superstar, but as champion, I think they would do it even more effectively than what John Cena has been able to do. It's just WWE have too much hype and prestige going for John Cena right now. There's no chance of John Cena turning into a heel as of right now because of the high ratings that he's producing. But again, the high ratings are coming from the younger audiences, not the adolescents. I mean, the adolescents would preferably rather see someone like Brock Lesnar on top as WWE Champion, especially if you were a fan of everything Brock Lesnar did outside of the WWE for the UFC. And I am one of those fans who kind of concur with you, who believe that someone would be more effective as champion than John Cena. I was a fan of John Cena earlier on in his career when he was a thug who didn't really care what he had to say or do to become the WWE Champion. I was more of a fan of him as a heel, but when he got this attitude of being so happy to be in the position that he was in, always approving of everything positive in the WWE, I very quickly became a hater of John Cena. And I'm not a hater to the point where I don't even want to see him there in the WWE. I'm just a hater of him because he's always on top. You know, out of maybe 50 or 60 wrestlers, you can't tell me that John Cena is the only one that you can put on top. You can have different feuds between superstars on either Raw, SmackDown, and even NXT, and there are more things for John Cena to do rather than being champion all the time. It's almost as if WWE creative can't derive anything more creative rather than seeing John Cena as a 15 or 16-time champion. I'd much rather see John Cena face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Have John Cena win the 2014 Royal Rumble, and instead of choosing to face either champion at WrestleMania, either the WWE or World Champion, he chooses to face The Undertaker with The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak on the line, and then you have another championship match that kind of takes the place of having John Cena challenge for the title at WrestleMania. It seems like every year at WrestleMania it's either John Cena defending the title or John Cena winning the championship, and that's the way it's been since 2005 when he defeated John Bradshaw Layfield, who did a tremendous job, by the way, of putting John Cena over, and we can kind of blame John Bradshaw Layfield for how big John Cena has gotten, because he was always a huge fan of John Cena, with no disrespect being thrown in the way of John Bradshaw Layfield. Why did he have to do what he did in 2005? The only good thing the Authority are really doing right now is kind of preventing people like John Cena from being a major champion and always on top. The Authority are kind of keeping John Cena away from the WWE title, and they're opening up the door for other rivalries to kind of arise out of the abyss on Monday Night Raw, like the rivalry between Randy Orton and The Big Show. We've seen it before, but at least it's a bit different from what we have previously seen over the last 10 years in the WWE, because at least we're not seeing John Cena challenging for the WWE title. It could be worse. It could be John Cena, Randy Orton, and The Big Show in a three-way for the WWE title, rather than John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio for what feels like